Market update here on the 28th, starting here with coin. So in the video yesterday, actually I didn't do a video yesterday. The video before that, on Monday, I talked about this potentially coming up here to the daily supply zone. And I said that I didn't have a position, which unfortunately I did miss this pump. But I nailed the top here. We hit daily supply here at 211. And I can show you how crazy this is. Sometimes it works out pretty perfectly. So we have 1, 2, and if that's the third wave, is this on regular? No, it's log. Okay, so this one's not going to show it, but on this right here, if you go to the second and the fourth wave, I'm pretty sure, maybe not. Okay, never mind. I was doing it on the regular chart, I think. Maybe it's the regular chart. On one of the charts, I had it and it lined up perfectly for 211, 212, and that's exactly where we hit. So regardless, it doesn't really matter. I think that 5 waves is finished here. It's very interesting that Coinbase goes down right when Bitcoin, let's go to Bitcoin. I've had this sitting here for 3 or 4 months. This is a daily supply zone. This has a blow off top right into that daily supply zone, and right when it gets up here, Coinbase goes out. How sketchy is that? They obviously planned that. You're not going to get, I mean, when you know price action like this and you know where the stock's going to go, and then it happens right at the top, right into daily supply, there's just no coincidence there. That definitely was planned. Eventually it came back, but I don't know what the deal is with that. They didn't allow anybody to sell at 63,000 if they wanted to. And in my count, that's the end of the third wave. So very, very sketchy. I guess while I'm on Bitcoin, I can just go over it. If that's the end of the third wave, I'm looking for a pullback here to about 50,000 for a fourth wave. And then after that, a fifth wave higher. So obviously very sketchy. Coin didn't even sell off on that news either. I feel like it should have, if it was like normal people selling there instead of algos, it could have sold off a lot harder. But so Bitcoin is gonna fall to 50K if that's the end of the third wave. But again, right into daily supply, should be finished. Let's zoom in here a little bit farther though. And huge move down. That's definitely impulsive. So yeah, I think we pretty much topped out here. And it should be heading back down here to at least 52K, right into this demand zone, 50 to 52K. So that is Bitcoin. Let's go over coin now, and then coin. Again, probably ended the third wave as well. You got this right here. Right into daily supply, hit my target. I didn't take a short position because the price action was so sketchy. I should have, but like I thought this was going to be the top right here, and then we come down here and make another move higher, which to me, I guess it's 5 waves, but it almost looks like a B wave to me. So on coin, let's just look for some demand zones here. The biggest demand zone I see is down here at 170. That's a good area for a fourth wave, but you never know with coin. Let's just see how far it can go down. The first wave ended at 87 bucks. And the second wave pulled back to the 0.61 fib. So that's a decent sized correction for a second wave. So I would probably be aiming for something around the 0.23 fib, which actually is pretty deep correction. Takes us to 135. There's a daily demand zone right there. If we also look at standard deviations, this is very important in my opinion. Kind of gives you an idea when you should sell, especially on the daily time frame. And you can see here, we got up here, we sold off hard. We're up here now. We're probably going to sell off hard, and look where the bottom of that is. Right around this daily demand zone here at 137 to 143. Could be right here too if it's a more slow correction. So I'm looking for at least this 160 to 170, but potentially 137 to 145 as well for a fourth wave. And go back now to log chart. And then after that, you're just going to be looking for another pump. So let's just say we come back down here to 140. I would still be looking for a huge pump after that. That's saying 400. I haven't gotten that far, I guess, to figure out where all the gaps are. There's a gap here at 220. I think there's some gaps up there higher. Maybe not. So either way, I would just be looking for one more move higher after that. So that's coin. Looking for a sell-off down here to probably at least 160, 170. Mara, I think this is kind of in the same boat as Coinbase. So I consider this a first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave. Let's just get an idea. And look at that, it's pretty close. It came within about $2 of the target, I would say. And so on Mara, if Coinbase is going to go to 160, 170 on Mara, I'd be looking for like the low 20s. That's about a 30% sell-off from the top. That's about right. That's about a 30% sell-off for coin from 200. So I would say low 20s for Mara. Maybe down here to 21.79. You do have a demand zone right here at 23 to 24 bucks. It could go farther than that too, but I would say I'd be looking for like 21, 22 bucks. So that's coin, that's Mara, Bitcoin. Let's go over, and by the way, I don't want to be long on coin anymore. That kind of made me mad today with the outage. I'll trade it, but I'm not going to hold any shares anymore. I'll definitely short it though. So let's go over Tesla. Tesla came up higher today. Again, I'm not trading this anymore. I was thinking, okay, maybe this is a diagonal then. This stock's just so untradeable right now, in my opinion. You can look at moving averages and have moving average crosses. So, like the 20 has crossed. Where is the 20 at on here? So 20 crossed the 200 right here. So yeah, that's definitely bullish, and we got that move up. We get the move up here to 204 today. At this point, it did come up here pretty good. It can go to either one of these spots. At the long end, I would say down here at daily demand. I mean, on this particular move, you could just be looking here at this demand zone between 198 and 200. Below that, you're looking at 194 and 191. The daily 20-day moving average is sitting here at 191. I would expect to hold that. So maybe we won't come all the way down here if we pull back. At this point, I mean, it's a corrective move. I mean, look at this movement. It's just absolutely terrible movement. That's why it's so hard to read and so hard to trade. That's why I'm selling options on it. So is this a diagonal now? That's the question. Like, what is this? For me, again, we hit the 1.61 fib right here. We come down here. Today we bounce back. I would expect at least a C wave down to here. but potentially farther if we get bad PCE data. I guess it's possible it goes higher. If it goes higher, you're just looking at this zone right here, 206 to 212. That's all I'm going to say on it right now. I mean, it looks bullish because it's above the 20 on the daily, but the price action is not very good. Microsoft down after hours. I would say that Microsoft, I'm still looking for this to be a first wave of a fifth wave, but it's still possible it comes down here farther and fills this gap here at 402.29. That is a demand zone within this other bigger demand zone. So we have a daily demand zone. This is hourly demand zone. So it's still possible for this to come down farther. And then after that, I'm looking for a pump to way up here to like 427 and eventually like 440, 450. So as long as we get that extension. Looks good to me though. I have one call right now that I'm going to be down on tomorrow, but if it's down tomorrow, but if it comes down here, I'll just buy more. QQQ, again, still looking for 431. This is a daily demand zone right here. So I'm looking for at least hitting this daily demand zone at 430. Could go all the way down to 421. Gap fills at 425. So I would guess tomorrow is probably going to be bearish, just based on what I see. But again, I'm looking for this. Who knows how high this will go. I'm looking for that. So look for 430 tomorrow or the next day. NVDA. NVIDIA is going to be a little bit different. It pumps so high. But I would still say that you're looking at, I would still say 740. So that's another 5% down, potentially. That's the 0.5 fib. That would be a second wave. And then similar to QQQ, like this. So I don't think we're there yet for buy the dip. And it's, of course, it's possible that that was a top too. Got to watch out and see what happens tomorrow. What else I've been looking at today? Snow had earnings, but I haven't charted this. Do a quick glance at it and just see what's going on. And I mean, this one looks pretty much like an ABC move. So maybe you getting this move down right now. I don't know how far it will go down. We can look at demand zones. We are at 180. There's this demand zone here at 177. Below that, you're looking all the way down here at 150. So I think this looks to me like a ABC move. So after this move completes, I would be looking for I'd probably be looking for another pump of some sort. So I think that it's probably going to be like that. So that might be a good buy the dip. I'll probably look into that tomorrow. I don't even know what their earnings were. I'll have to look at their earnings, but it definitely was ready to fall off a cliff. Let's look at the weekly. So on the weekly, yeah, so weekly is the top of the range. On the daily is usually more accurate though. Whoops. I don't know why this is not working. So anyway, refresh this. So snow is So top of the range is right there. If it's down here at 182, it's probably going to be a nice buy the dip. You have a demand zone here. You also have demand zone here. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a good buy the dip here soon. Look for demand zones here. You have the 200-day here at 176. So that's going to be key though. You want to hold the 200-day, and we don't want the 20 crossing the 200 as well. So as long as it's above 176, it's probably going to be a nice buy the dip. If it finishes below that on any time frame though, or any day, then you got to be careful because it might come down here all the way to the bottom of this range. So the bottom of this right here at like 120. Let's see what else we got here. The dollar, we can look at RIVN. I don't think RIVN, it went up a little bit. I still don't like this. It's flagging, bear flag here. Potentially going lower, who knows? Because it has no support. The dollar is just staying there. Maybe the dollar does make it up here to my target of 105.56 before falling off a cliff. So I think that's pretty much it. The big story today was just the miners and Bitcoin. Besides that, not really that much movement. You had Beyond Meat was pumping early. I can look at Google real quick. And Google is just making its way down here. Keep your eye out for this weekly demand zone. It's sitting here at, this is a key level right here between 131 and 134. Similar to Microsoft, this would be a great buy here, I think. It's sold off from 155 all the way down here. That's a 15% drop. So I think it's a pretty good buy the dip right here for potentially, like I talked about in the last video, potentially a diagonal. So that's what I see. If it's not a diagonal, then you're looking at this potentially turning into a deeper fourth wave. So again, it would end up being like this. If we zoom in here a little bit farther, I think that it looks like an ABC move to me. You can see clearly right here at the top, if you draw it from right here, we're nowhere near hitting this. It's ABC. I would say buy the dip between this in this weekly demand here at 131 to 134, and you can look at the gap fills. I don't see any gap fills, but that is a good spot to buy. So that's pretty much it for today. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates. Any stocks you want me to do, leave them in the comments, and I'll take a look at them for you. Have a good night.